are now.
Are we live or what? I can't hear you.
We are live. Hold on.
Well, come on to the man show. I know you guys can hear me.
Hello, mic check. Mic check. Oh,
welcome to early morning broadcasting. This is IronMinds, brought to you by Hayden and Gunner.
You can't hear me?
Still can't hear you. Still can't hear you. Not working.
Doesn't make any sense. I can hear you.
You can hear me though, right? Check, check. Yeah, I can hear myself. Pretty sure. Bose, boom. Yeah, test. Wait a minute. Maybe it's on me. Maybe it's on me. Possibility.
Mic check. Mic check.
What I get. This is what I get for early mornings. See, this is where, like, I've done Zooms this morning. I've done Teams this morning, and now I go over to StreamYard, and it always, like, I don't know if it messes up. I don't know what the problem is, but we'll get it figured out. I mean, we can always ask me questions in the comments too. I guess I can do it that way. I don't know why. Let's see. Sorry. You'd think I'm an experienced podcaster here. You'd think I'd have this understood. No, it should 100% be working.
Mic check. Not working, huh?
Should I go out and come back in? Does that work? Should I try it? Here, I'm getting over it. Trey, look at Trey. Trey's over here trying to troubleshoot me. Check audio setting. I got them. They're 100%. They're checked. Let's try this.
We're off to a wonderful start here.
Speaker, so all right, Hayden, talk.
Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check.
Wait a minute. Hayden, say it again.
Mic check. Mic check.
We're good. I'm an idiot. I have my volume down. Look at this.
Is your volume down? I was going to say.
Yeah, I'm 100% an idiot. Trey, go away. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. What's up, dude? Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to IronMinds, episode 40-something. I don't know. We'll get on the post today. Dude, it's been technical difficulties nonstop with me and my StreamYard logins. I don't know what the issue is. This is me emceeing it 2 times in a row. Rocky starts, but you know what? It ain't about how you start. It's about how you finish. We're here, so we made it.
That's right. We're here. I'm here. I'm sorry, but I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. You know, other than that, though, you know, I'm great. It's
we're free.
Chattanooga. I'm sure it's cold outside. I've been doing some coaching since 5 a.m. this morning, so I'm wide awake. I've had like 2 of these, so I'm ready to go. What's up, dude?
Not much, dude. It's a great morning. Starting off to a new week. 7 a.m. your time, right?
It is 7 a.m. my time. I'm usually done with all these by 7 because I have to get ready and get little man ready to go to school. But, you know, I figured, you know what? Whenever I get the bat signal out from my boys to do a show at 7, I just kind of drop things, maybe put school on the back burner. If he's late, he's late, and we just figure it out from there, you know?
That's what we do. We got to get – do you have a home gym?
You know, so we just moved. Well, I say we just moved. We moved like in October, but we still have our other house. And,
gotcha.
My gym is still there. So I'm selling a lot of it to my sister. They're building a lake house now, which is freaking sweet, by the way. Can't wait to post pictures of that. But they're building a lake house, and I'm giving them a majority of my gym. But nice. I'm still going to have my elliptical. I've got like my Bowflex adjustable weights. I mean, I've got an X3 bar right here, kettlebells, bands. I've got stuff around. But I also have a gym membership to like every membership in town. You know, I'm a gym supporter.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I agree. I'm at Gold's Gym just because it's the most convenient location-wise, and they're the largest and with the most flexible hours. I miss being at the old school, grimy, hardcore, like no AC, strictly like free weights and iron gyms. There's one across town called the Lord's Gym, dude. That was my favorite place to work out. I just love that environment.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just across town. It's a 20-minute drive, you know, just to get a workout in.
So we have one similar in town. It's literally like a 1980s bodybuilding gym, like that. Like the equipment's from the 80s, like Dynabody, hammer strength, like everything, like everything creaks. And goes into doing it. But dude, that's what working out's about, man. It's not supposed to be all pretty all the time. If a machine moves too easy, you don't need it. You don't need the machine to move easy. It should be a little creaky when you get into it.
Like, I don't mind it feeling like an oven in there. They got the bay doors lifted up for the only airflow in there. There's no AC. There's just some, the big ass fans, that kind of stuff, dude. I love that. I love being drenched by the time I leave a workout. But dude, glad to have you on. Yeah,
let's do it. What are we talking about?
Dude, well, first of all, like, welcome back to reality. How did you get back to the other side, man? I made a post yesterday. I don't know if you saw it, but when Thanos snapped, right, half of LinkedIn disappeared. One person was able to rematerialize, beat the Matrix, and is now here live in person. What happened?
Well, I mean, I don't want to say that I'm the Andrew Tate of LinkedIn, but I have been called that here recently. So there's like a big, and my name is Gunner, so like I guess I am a top G of some sort of another. But it is strange that I've had that profile picture up since when did Lensa become a thing? It was like November, right? Around Thanksgiving, probably, maybe a little bit afterwards.
It was literally
changed my profile picture then, not an issue. The people's captain. And people don't understand. If you go into like update your profile where it says first, last name, below that it says additional name. Additional name is for your nickname or whatever you go by whatever you go by, right? Okay, so I put the people's captain in there. That's a problem. They didn't like that part of it either, because that's obviously not what I go by nor anything that I've ever claimed to be this entire time.
If your last name doesn't end in Zuckerberg, you're not allowed to put that.
That's true. There was also the fraudulent account aspect. There was 2 accounts that had like blurry pictures of mine, literally of my family, like me, Tia, and Marcus, like my family, and claiming to be me, that had 1 follower, like 1 connection, and it was themselves. And those people were saying that I wasn't me, that my account was fraudulent, that they were me. So that was frustrating. I think that probably hit it as well. But ultimately, I believe I had probably been reported, if I had to guess, by somebody. I'm not going to get into conspiracies or any of that type of stuff, but it just seemed very odd that as soon as I get out, a particular company in town may have started like asking questions about things that I say about particular companies in town. And this was from an HR person from that particular company. It just seemed a little, and it was like, hey man, welcome back. It was like, oh, so now you want to respond to a post that's from like 3 weeks ago and say, welcome back after. So, okay. When most people can't even search and find me, you just happen to find that post. Real interesting. Very, okay. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe not.
It's probably just random numbers has between 4 and 6 letters in there. I don't know, just something like that. I mean, but
less than 10, more than 3, something like that.
Well, glad to have you back either way, dude. You stay very busy on here. Well, I don't know where you got the bandwidth. I'm going to assume it's the natural curiosity, just the interest and the willingness to want to help others. And that seems like something that may be driving you. So it really probably doesn't even feel like work, although I'm sure it is quite a bit.
Yeah, it comes off that way, right? And a lot of people say, like, dude, when you don't quit kicking things, man, you're making me nervous over here.
I can't stand still.
No, I'm with you. People say, like, why do you do things for free? Why do you do this in your spare time? Why don't you spend that energy helping just people at your work? It's like, why do that during the day? All these different things. At the end of the day, man, I'm a former athlete that has always been the guy that wanted to lead the weight room first. Like any aspect of something that was physically hard and that I knew I was mentally tougher than other people, I wanted to lead that because I felt like that's where leaders are supposed to kind of come out. That military mindset, that special ops mindset. And in football, like I wanted to be the weight room warrior. Like that was me, man. On the field, I wanted to always, I might not be the fastest on the first sprint, but when we did the 10th sprint, I wanted to be the fastest. Like that was kind of, I wanted to have that same speed for a long duration of time. Now, within that, I've been able to help. Right? Yeah. I've helped people throughout the years as far as their fitness journeys and stuff like that, and never brought it into logistics. And now this time I'm like, you know what? I want to start doing that in the mornings. And before that, I had to have a presence on LinkedIn. So in order to help people, I had to be selfish a little bit with my time to try to blow up my profile to be able to have a platform to help people. And that's what I really did. So I had to be selfish to be selfless. I've talked about that several times in other podcasts, but I really feel like I'm in a situation now to where I can help people and give back a little bit for right now. And then I got to get to another step, and then I can do it again, right? We got to keep growing, keep evolving.
Well, that's awesome, dude. You know, I think that's there's a big difference in the world when you have an abundance mindset versus a scarcity mindset. And I think for too long, specifically our industry, there's this scarcity mindset where everyone's competition, everyone's trying to cut the rug out from under everyone, nickel and dime behind people's back to try to steal customers. And it's just like, dude, there's so much business out there that, like, it doesn't need to be that way. There's enough. And, you know, I think when you have that abundance mindset, you pour into other people. I think one, it's just good karma. What goes around comes around. But it seems when you do adopt that mindset and you're doing it for the right reasons, it always comes full circle one way or another. It's, at least in my life, it seems to have.
It's wild, man. The more you give, the more you get, right? And people are scared to give because they're like, I want to give and I want to get today. You know, that's not how it works. Like, you know, you might have to give for years. You might have to give way more than you're actually getting paid for something, or give way more effort than you're actually getting in return. But eventually it'll come back to you. It will. That is good. That's how the universe works, man. That is good karma. Whatever it is you believe, I truly do believe, you know, whether you're religious or whether you're not, end of the day, doing good things is never a bad thing. And when you can do good for other people, it will return to you. Yeah,
dude. I think it goes down to that mindset of like offering help or lifting someone up when there's no way they can repay you. And maybe they can later on. Maybe that's not, again, why you're doing it. But it's like, if you're doing it for the right reasons, because you have a servant heart and you just want to help, dude, you can't go wrong. So like, you've been doing this for at least, I feel like, a month. Solid, at least at this point, maybe even longer. What's been the biggest takeaway so far with these coaching sessions? Like, you have a lot of people reaching out to you. It sounds like you're running 2 a morning, so it sounds like that's probably all from inbound. Like, what's been the biggest takeaway so far in having all these different conversations?
So, man, I love the entrepreneurial mindset. You know, I like talking to Trey about that as well. You know, he's doing his own thing, but I love the people that are just willing to create their own destiny, right? I'm fascinated with it, and I've wanted to do it forever. And, you know, obviously I work for TwelvePoint, I'm vice president over there in the W2, like I am with TwelvePoint. But at the end of the day, I also want to start building my own stuff on the side. So I was like, what do I like to do? Well, I wanted to be a strength conditioning coach coming out of college. And then I just accidentally got into logistics. So doing the pro wrestling, got the background, love working out. So I was like, how can I combine all this and kind of create something that other people don't have? And maybe that is teaching people how to create a gimmick within their own self, to brand themselves a certain way, to kind of get known to, AKA pro wrestling logistics or pro wrestling LinkedIn or whatever we want to call it, and to shift that mindset a little bit in that direction. So how can I do that? Obviously, you want to get paid for things, right? You want to get paid for your time, especially when you're doing it early in the morning. But you're not going to get paid when you first start doing something if you don't even know if you're good or not. So I had to understand if I'm good. The only way you find out if you're good is by practice. But in order to practice, you can't just role play with yourself. You got to have people to practice with, people to help train. I've got a few sales guys, you know, that have had success, but at the end of the day, like, they're doing it, and I don't know if that's completely on me. So yes, I gave them kind of show them the ropes and gave them the tools at the beginning. But can I help anybody? Can I help other people at other companies just with my techniques? And that's what I wanted to see. So I just put the whole thing out. Hey man, if you're looking for help, hit me up. I did not think whatsoever that when I said, if you're looking for help, hit me up for free or whatever, that my inbox would explode. It was wild. Like, so it got to the point I was individually sending out invites and stuff. And then I had to actually set up a calendar to do it. And I had to put certain blocks of time to be able to set it up. This thing is booked out, Hayden, through February 24th.
That's awesome.
Like, and it's 4 sessions every morning, Monday through Friday, 30-minute sessions. And a lot of them are repeats. You know, some of them are not. But literally, I had to cut it off because we got the baby on the way towards the end of the month, on the 27th.
Congrats on that again, by the way. That's
what allowed me time. I've told everybody, listen, this is completely free. And if I hope that you get value, you know, but I want you to tell me if you don't or if you do. And at the end of it, all I ask is for like a video referral that I'm going to collect of everybody kind of sharing what I've done. And then when I come back with this in a few months, whenever that time is after the baby's here, I will have my first like side hustle venture that I'm going to launch. And it's going to be based off of this. But I had to understand, what is the need in logistics? What are the most common questions asked by new freight brokers, by new freight agents, by people that are not necessarily brokers, they're just in the game. And I've been just training other salespeople. So I'm getting a database of common questions and things that I can provide solutions for, and almost like a course I can build around to help people, and also know it within like an 8-week structure. Because I don't think you don't need much more than that. I think 8 weeks is about what you would need to kind of take what everybody's been asking and develop a course around. Then that's pretty much it, man.
Well, that's awesome, dude. It sounds, and one, hats off to Jake and the rest of your leadership team over there for supporting this, because, you know, for the longest time, there's many companies. Yeah, I'd say leading up to mid 22, at least from my perception, what I've seen up until 2022, like nobody in this industry wanted their employees to have like a personal brand. Even my former employees, dude, trying to build them up and use my quote unquote platform, I was gaining traction. I was getting direct shippers commenting, messaging me just because of the humor and the intense sarcasm that tied back to a message. I got told by leadership and the board of directors to shut it down. We have a very specific vision for how we want to market this and that. And there were a bunch of, you know, older school, you know, mindset. I'm like, guys, we're not in that world anymore. Like, it doesn't, like, people don't want to read paragraph after paragraph of a copy from a white pager. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
no.
Do you want to read that? No. It's like I get 3 sentences in and I'm like, bang, 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 reload, bang, 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 bang. Like, I don't want to watch that.
Right.
We have a short attention span. You know, post-pandemic, social media and that messaging style, right? Like 30 seconds or less, shock factor, major fact, humor, entertainment, something to capture attention and cut through the noise, because we are so overstimulated by everything around us that, like, it's got to grab attention somehow. And it's got to be short, digestible, articulate. And I feel like the people that are doing that are winning right now. They're winning the content game because no one has time or the attention span to sit around and watch a 5-minute plus something, unless it's very specific to what you're trying to learn, like maybe a podcast, whatever the case might be. But I remember getting so frustrated. It's like, you hired me to bring on revenue. I found a way to do that my way that's sustainable. It's fun. It keeps me active, and it's working. I can show you measurable results, like quantifiable, and I'm getting shut down. Like, all right, dude, like my hands are up. I'm done.
You know, I think that's a thing in logistics, right? I think a lot of companies, except if maybe you're at the big companies, they don't want you controlling the narrative of what it is their brand is. Now, obviously, at a smaller company like at TwelvePoint, you know, I have a little bit more freedom, a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more of a voice there, because at the time, we don't know our story either. We don't know our message. So Somebody's got to create one. And that was kind of my mindset. I went to the Grant Cardone 10X Business Bootcamp for 3 days, and all this dude talked about was marketing. Okay. Then I went to Andy Elliott's, you know, mastermind, and my man's talking about marketing. I went to these for sales, and I ended up getting taught marketing. So I was like, okay, all these guys are talking about is being everywhere all the time. I've got to do that. So my goal, you know, after June pretty much was to start pushing my podcast on the platform, doing a little bit more written content when I got to December, and when I shut the podcast down for a month, then realized it's a mixture of all of it. I do have a voice. People do want to listen to what I have to say, whether I say it on a video or whether I say it on the audio or whether I write it. Everybody has a voice. What people don't want is somebody to write down something that somebody's already said, trying to claim it as their own. You just got to be unapologetically, authentically you, speak in the way you speak. And you don't have to be some, you know, an English professor. You don't have to have a 4.0 GPA. You don't have to use proper grammar. It's 2023. Half the shit we use is emojis, you know? So like we need to use who we are, be who we are, and do that on a loud forum. And LinkedIn in logistics is the place to go. Dude, these polls I do polls because direct shippers respond to polls. They might not respond to everything, but they respond to polls because you can't see what it is they're doing. Those people get hit up immediately. Hey man, thanks for responding to the poll. I also agree that, you know, peanut butter needs jelly, whatever a poll I do, right? Like it's, you know, it's like, but that's a way to generate. And I honestly think, you know, my company as well, they didn't understand what I was doing. I think there was a lot of, you know, and they'll say this, I think there was a lot of eye rolling, a lot of questioning, a lot of, you know, wondering why I'm not necessarily just doing cold calls all the time or whatever, but I was training my team, and I was building my brand, and it worked. Like, I mean, that connected us. Obviously, just through you, things have worked, right? So, I mean, I have landed deals strictly off of LinkedIn without having to do any selling whatsoever until the time comes to sell. And it's like, you know, that's more important than anything, man. If I can generate inbound leads, that's more valuable to my company than anything I can be doing outbound.
And really the way I see it, you don't even need to sell on LinkedIn. You need to be someone. There needs to be some, in the way I view it is when you're putting yourself out there, you've now created social proof that you're not some scumbag, that you're not just some random Joe Schmo. Like if you've been putting out content that shows competency, intellect into our industry and some insights and perspective, I think it just more than anything helps take down that guard. It allows us to skip formalities and anything, just an introduction to a new opportunity so that we can now have a real conversation. We don't have to do the whole buyer seller false pleasantry facade of beating around the bush. Hey, how's the weather? Building that quote unquote rapport. That's kind of already there, dude. We can get down and just have a very human to human conversation, which is where real business and relationships are made and done.
Absolutely.
That's, so I think doing what you're doing, and again, you're helping others. Because for the longest time, dude, that's something I had to learn coming into this. I was very, very fortunate to start in logistics at Worldwide Express because they are not, even though they're classified as a top third-party logistics company, that is not the real product. It is professional development. They have the most refined training to teach you how to go out and be a business person in this space. And they are 450 reps strong. They are very competitive, and they are in every single market. So I got to learn from that to help build my foundation, and I had to compete in that area, which really helped kind of elevate my game and help me learn the frameworks and everything, and then take it from there, putting my own personality to it, my own insights and perspectives. Because nobody wants to work with a robot, dude. It's easy to tell when stuff's been regurgitated or you're just kind of reading from a script in your mind. It doesn't hit the same because it's not you. Absolutely. Right. So I think it's really cool that you're doing that. I think by way of doing this too, you're also allowing other people, or basically inadvertently giving them permission to have a voice. Because for the longest time, I know I fit to this category. And the older I get, I realize that all these situations where I feel like, oh, I'm the only one. I'm not. There's everyone feels this way to a certain degree. On so many of these things, it's like you feel like you don't have a voice if you're newer, or you don't have that quote unquote credibility. You don't feel like you have permission to put helpful content out there, stuff like that. It's like that's not the case. Like you don't. And I think when people like yourself and others who are constantly putting content out there as a regular everyday person, dude, it lights the way for other people to want to participate in that too, because everyone does have a voice, like you said. And I think some people are sometimes just very hesitant to
every professional was once an amateur, right? Like you. I mean, think about like you just kicking the bag. You showed that video of you kicking the bag on day one versus a month later. That's just 1 month, dude. Think about what you're going to be kicking that bag in 2 years, So that's with anything. People are so scared to put out their thoughts and their opinions. One reason, because these days, if you say the wrong thing, potentially, even if you don't mean to say the wrong thing, you're done, right? People can literally
cancel.
And people are scared of that. Man, dude, I've been canceled as hard. I've been very canceled on Twitter, like in the wrestling world. So like to the point to where who is Gunnar Miller was trending on Twitter. So like, I'm not afraid of people saying really mean things about me. That doesn't bother me. I have very thick skin. And
I'm an athlete. You can't hurt my feelings.
Dude, at the end of the day, man, I come home to my family and I know what they think about me. And that's all that matters. I could care less what anybody else really thinks about me because I know who I am. So just putting that out there, doing that, being genuine, being authentic. And at the end of the day, man, just do it. Just post. Like if you have a thought and it's based off of your experience, off something you thought about and something that happened to you, and you can tell a story that might help somebody else, no one else on the planet can tell that story the way you can tell it because it happened to you. That's the difference. Like everybody wants to know, like, well, I'm not the smartest person when it comes to logistics. Maybe not. But guess what? You have experiences that you experienced in logistics that no one else has because you thought about it, how you thought about it, and nobody else thinks like you. Share it. Let people know what it was about, man. How did it help you? What did you learn? Did you fail? Did you have success? And people also don't care about just people talking about their successes all the time. People want to hear about people's failures because that's how people learn. People are more willing they want to see somebody get kicked down, somebody told no. They want to hear that type of stuff. So the more you can be transparent with your failures and talk about how it helped you get a success later on, that's what people really relate to.
Yeah, having that humility, because again, this is a lot like baseball. You can go, it's a game of failure when it comes to and sales in general, right? You're going to get a lot more no's than you are yeses. That's just part of it, right? When you accept that, embrace that, you can really use that as a median to help drive growth, and especially to tell your experiences. I used to love, at one point in my career, I used to love getting no because it was such a game. This was more like when I was in the field, cold calling, door knocking. That's how Worldwide Express built their model. It's where I learned. I love selling in person. I love walking into a company, trying to get to that decision maker, being told no by the gatekeeper and realizing like, I'm not letting that dictate my paycheck. Like I got to figure this out. Hopping up into dock doors, sneaking through warehouse. Dude, I missed that because it was such a game and such a thrill. It got you in trouble sometimes, but like the company was okay with that, right? Because we don't have ill intention. We're not trying to steal, trespass, anything. We're trying to bring value to someone. And I can't do that unless I get in front of you. I miss that stuff, dude. But yeah, I think it's really cool what you're doing, dude. I know, I don't really get hate. I don't really post that much. If you notice, most of my stuff is very sarcastic. I'm very humor driven because that's what sustains my mindset of me doing this. Like that's what keeps me engaged. That's what helps break down walls for me. That works for me. I've tried in the past to really be logistics or business oriented, and every now and then I'll lay one out there. But like I'll be starting to write one, and like I just immediately like want to start falling asleep as I'm typing it to myself. I'm like, that doesn't entertain me personally. So like I have to stick with the stuff that keeps me consistent or makes me want to. And honestly, dude, by being honest with myself and staying within those confines of really what I know checks my own curiosity, helps drive my own creativity, and really just keeps me excited and having fun with what I'm doing. Yeah. I have built countless meaningful relationships with people. I mean, it's just like yourself, dude. With so many people, key pillars of this industry that I'm very fortunate to call friends now. And even with some direct shippers, I've had some business come from it. But more than anything, dude, I just think it helps keep me consistent because I enjoy it. If I'm doing something I don't enjoy, it's not sustainable for me. I don't have the discipline or just the drive to do something that is just mind numbing all day. So I have to do that.
I can't either, man. So if you notice, like the majority of my posts, especially when I started ramping up, were very just sports related or just kind of current trends. What's happening now? Like what can people relate to? And here, end of the day, dude, shippers, they watch Netflix, they procrastinate, they got kids, they say they're going to do things and they don't do it. Some of them work out. Like there's so many different, they do everything we do, man. Like to the old sports adage, like they put their pants on one leg at a time, right? Amen. Like they're no better than us. So why should we treat them better than us? The people that treat these customers better than us are always going to be on a pedestal in a transactional relationship, and they're always going to have to succumb to the shipper. We need to just become equals, and we need to become partners and consultants with people within their shipping business and help them do what they need to do. You got to understand what their goal is and how can you help them get to their goal faster. That's all our job is, man. If you look at it in a sports play, I want to have an audible to every play I have in order to help the person that I'm trying to help. And as long as I can do that, we're in a good spot. And the more people you help, the better, man. Like I'm not trying to get rich off any certain customer. Like I think that my services deserve a certain fee, but also I'm going to get you the best price for that fee. That's my goal. If I could go cost plus with everybody, that's what I would do. But obviously you can't, and sometimes you got to play the game, and everything's a gamble. But at the end of the day, you just got to sell yourself the way you can sell yourself. Be the best version of you. Be unapologetically, authentically you, and you'll get a lot more sales and a lot more contacts, a lot more relationships doing it that way than you will trying to sell or persuade anybody.
99% of the time, people do not buy from companies. They buy from people. They buy from people they know, like, and trust. I used to not believe that as much. I used to be like, no, it doesn't matter if they like me or not. If I'm bringing them enough value, they can't deny me. Which is true in instances, but dude, at the end of the day, I'm sure you can fall back and look on this. Like people want to work with people they like. Like I don't want to work with a customer I hate working with, and I know that if they hate me, they don't want to continue working with me, no matter how good I am. The next best solution that comes up, I'm probably out the door because, like, people will always be the foundation of the sales game, of the relationships, because it's like, why work with someone you don't enjoy working with? Not every customer is a good customer. I fired customers that were great paying customers that made me good money, but they treated my ops team horribly, or they just talked to me like I had to answer the phone at 2 a.m. when it's like not that big. I'm like, dude, no, I've set expectations. This is what it's going to be. This is what you can expect from me. We agreed to all this on the front end. Like that was very clear and transparent, as I always am up front. And there just comes a time where you realize like maybe this isn't the best fit for me because I can't do this sustainably. It's stressing me out. It's taking away from my focus on my other book of business and customers that are in direct alignment with everything. So it's like it's weighing all those things. And to be fair, putting people on a pedestal was something I struggled with for a long time, because in my mind, I'm still just some random 18-year-old with a ton of personal responsibilities. But so I used to talk, I had to get over this. It's like, oh, I'm going to sell to a C-level. This guy's 40 plus. I'm selling to an adult. I got to talk to a real adult. I'm not a real adult. I got 3 kids. Morgan's like, I'm an adult. I got to remind myself these things sometimes.
Yeah.
But it does take some confidence, some conviction, and like some self-belief, I think, for a lot of people to get past that. Because it's easy to put on a mask and fake it for a little bit and say, oh, I talk to him equally. You can't lie to that voice in your head about how you really feel. But through repetition, through at-bats, through failures, because hopefully you don't look at things as a loss, it's a learning experience. Like, hopefully you can start to thread those together and really become that confident, transparent, authentic person who does know who they are. And when that happens, dude, you're bulletproof. You don't have to worry about the ego. You don't have to worry about the fear of rejection. You don't have to fear about, man, am I going to sound dumb? It's like, no, like, I know what I'm doing. Like, I'm going to go talk to this person like an equal, because we are. This is just another human like me, dude, that has a different role.
Yeah. Dude, that's all it is. Dude, me and you connected over UFC. Now look at us, like that's like, it wasn't logistics. It was literally something outside of that. And I've done that with so many different people in the industry, and I've built some great relationships. I love LinkedIn. I love this logistics community. I truly do, man. Like, this fires me up. It does hold me accountable. The morning sessions hold me accountable. And, I strive to get better every day so that I can share what I'm learning with other people, so they don't have to take as long to get there to where I got, like I've had so many great role models and mentors in my life, and I just want to be that to other people. I always tell everybody,
pay it forward, man.
I'm not the best at anything, man, but listen, I ask the best dumb questions in the world, which means I get really good answers, and I try to share that with as many people as I can. So if you want to learn from this idiot, I'm just a moron, man. I'm just a moron in a warehouse with 14 people. That's all I am.
Well, I know you probably got some other stuff you got coming up this morning. We're at our 30-minute mark. It happens way too fast every time, dude. I appreciate you coming on and kind of sharing some of this stuff. I like how in line with it is, hearing you on here, it's very in line and uniform with everything else you're posting, dude. Yeah. I know there's a lot of people out there that appreciate your willingness to help in multiple aspects. And, one piece of advice I'd say for anyone, find something that you can talk. If a stranger came up and asked you about something that you're passionate about, that you can talk about all day long with no preparation, build content around that. Build content around that's relatable, human. It doesn't have to be logistic. Take something that literally fires you up. UFC for me, helping people get in shape. Like, I'm not a personal trainer, but dude, I've been overweight. I've been out of shape. I've been depressed. I've been to the point where I can't look at myself in the mirror. I don't want to feel that way. I don't want other people to feel that way. And I don't have to be a certified trainer to help people get past that. That's something that inspires me and genuinely makes me happy. So I like doing that stuff. Find those things in your life that you're so relatable to, or that you love, that other people can relate to, because we all go through the same struggles. We all battle the same demons.
That's right, dude. You said it perfect. I can't say it any better. But what I do got to say is I got to get to school, or I'm going to get in trouble by the missus upstairs. But hey, man, dude, thank you so much for having me on the show. All the people on here, hit me up on LinkedIn. That's the only spot to find me. I don't even check all the other stuff. But if you got a question, hit me up on LinkedIn. I'll get back to you for sure.
Let's get after this week, dude. Appreciate you.
See you, buddy.
Peace.